Hello, Johnny London here once again. Well, I'm afraid we've lost the weather now. As you can see, I bought some more woods and I left them out yesterday thinking they'd be alright, and of course they weren't. Everything's soaked today. We've had a few days of rain now actually, so I've just got to make the best of it and grab a couple of hours as and when I can.
I start out by laying these bricks along with a piece of retaining wood. And I'll use these pins to keep everything in place. There we are. This one's giving me a bit of trouble. I must have hit some of that old rubble that I used back in the day.
Bloody typical, isn't it?
It's time for the gloves to come out. I keep repositioning the pin, trying to find a bit of ground that I can get through. There she goes.
Oh, it reminds me of trying to moor the boat.
But at least the ground is looking pretty level. It pays to check regularly.
One of the problems I've got is the slabs I'm using on that far end, the lower end, they're 4 centimetre and these are sort of 3 centimetre, so I've got to build a little step in the sort of gravel bed underneath and really just kind of work through one at a time with all my different spirit levels and just try and keep everything straight. I mean, it is only a shed, but I don't want it going on the wonk too soon.
I'm not out of the woods yet. That extra centimetre has caused me problems.
Well, much as I didn't want to, I've just lowered all this course of bricks that I put in. I just dropped that down by about 1 centimetre because it was, well, a little bit high because I hadn't properly allowed for the depth of the extra deep slabs at that end. So have a bit of a rake over and hopefully try and get all the slabs down before the skies open.
At last, I'm beginning to make a bit of progress. But the muck really gets everywhere.
Good enough. That's another one.
time for a bit of a clean up. I've had to struggle constantly to keep the workplace clear. The mud is really getting everywhere, but that's just how it is at this time of the season with good old London clay soil.
Right, well, that's the base. Everything's been up and been relayed. It's all nice and even. Unfortunately, the soil is like clay now. It really is. It's sticking to everything and making a right old mess. But you've got to work with what you've got, haven't you? So at least I'm happy I've got this done, and it hasn't rained yet. Meanwhile, the wood's dried out quite nicely. So I'll put it under cover.
If some of these look a bit long, well, I've got a cunning plan for how I'm going to redo things. The Mark II cabin is going to be new and improved. Hopefully. I put some woods on to weigh the tarp down against the wind.
I've had to chuck everything in the greenhouse for now, obviously. But let's see what is in Johnny's greenhouse. We're having that one for tea.
Well, wouldn't you know it, I've had a rethink and there's a bit more adjusting to do yet.
Well, I know it looks like I'm making work for myself, but I've just decided to shunt these slabs just over 1 centimetre so they cover up that bit of wood. Obviously that bit of wood on the end is going to rot away in due course anyway, but with these to protect it, well, it might make a bit of a difference. I've got the brick and then the wood like that, and I think that's going to look pretty good when I get all the way down there.
Finally, the base is finished. See you next time.